Obviously, there's been no shortage of talks about all these contagion fears. If I had $1 for every time someone said the word contagion on Twitter, I'd be very rich. How do you
You'd
think
be rich than if you've been trading crypto for the last year?
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Short crypto, long contagion words on Twitter. How do you think through some of these contagion effects? I mean, I saw SBF had come out in an article, I believe it was on like Wall Street Journal or Business Insider, and he said that he thought the majority of some of these effects have kind of subsided. What do you look at, or is it just anecdotally to think about some of the risk from these knock-on effects of what essentially has just been a complete collapse of leverage, and seems like a lot of the counterparties that seem to be diversified ended up all kind of being the same ones.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking, how many people, there's no like one of the things in crypto is, while it's on a ledger and everyone kind of takes comfort that there's a lot of data available, there's actually a lot of data that's like not available as well. So it's a bit of a risk that people assume that it can be more quantified than traditional markets. And one thing that clearly wasn't quantified was where liabilities were, and you could take a loan from a lot of different people without the others knowing. Though, that's exactly what happened with Archegos. So it still happens in traditional finance too, not just crypto. So I think, and then when you think about contagion, like there are two things. Like there is, have we seen the full knock-on effects from a counterparty perspective? I.e., are there some people that are are there some bodies that are still going to float to the surface? Okay, that's one thing. And I'd say the answer to that is like probably yes. But the more important question is like, what is the selling associated with that? So there was obviously, with the first round of liquidations, I'm sure there was a huge amount of selling, a huge amount of liquidation. And I'd say, we probably have seen the worst. We've probably seen by far the worst of that selling at these prices. So, but, if prices were to go down more, it's reflexive. Leverage is uncovered by losses. So, if we were to retest the lows, and I don't know, people have been talking about, Bitcoin below 15K, or I mean, these are very, ETH below 700. These are very rough numbers. I'm certainly not giving you any insight into where there are, big liquidate on-chain liquidations, but, ballpark, like if we fell 25% from here, we'd be in a much different situation. And yes, the liquidations at these prices have been completed, but there'll be new ones from those prices. So I think, but that equally, that means if we do stay around here or see fresh inflows, those liquidations won't happen, so they're not a problem. So I think it is quite price dependent. And sometimes you don't need like buying for markets to base, you just need selling to stop. And especially if it's like very aggressive selling, of course, you can bounce on not that much. And one of the things that's in my other seat, like anecdotally, that I see is institutional money like wasn't ever that big in crypto, I'd say, and I don't think they've been particularly put off by this either. So we're still, most of the conversation, well, in fact, I can't think of a conversation that we were having about onboarding that has stopped because of these market fears. I think a lot of people feel there are some opportunities being created in the medium term, and that may not be at these prices. It might be at prices a bit lower, but equally, there's a huge difference from 2018, where people were like, it's dead, it was stupid anyway, like clearly Bitcoin's worthless, Ethereum, it doesn't work, and blah blah, all these, all those kind of, and that may come back, I don't know, and maybe we need that. Sometimes some people say we need that to start hearing that more to bottom, but it's a very different environment here. And while I wouldn't say people are buying aggressively, they still want to be involved in the space.